Welcome everybody to an. Oh, hold on. Why is my thing not working? Come on, come on, baby. You can do it.
Is that what you tell your wife?
Wow, wow.
Welcome everybody. Uh oh. Why is my thing not working? Come on, baby. You can do this. You can do this. You're a big mean boy. Come on. Come on.
Wow, Marcus.
Come on.
You have so much hate. You have so much.
Well, you always describe yourself as an old man. This is what I imagine you probably do.
Hold on 1 second. Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I am Eric.
The hater. I'm Lord Many. Hey, Hayes!
Ho, ho! I am Marcus the Grand Bonelli. And that little bit before the show wasn't recorded, huh?
No, it was not.
Damn it, that's some good material. It's wasted.
Thank you to the Delusional Champ in the chat room. He says, welcome to Eric's show. Yeah, you know, the one that doesn't get the ratings, but I decided to spruce up my design and put the New Day...
22.
I decided to put the New Day color format just so we can have a new day and a new fresh start as we talk about the week in professional wrestling, although I appeared on 2 episodes of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show, which airs Tuesday and Thursdays on our YouTube network. But before...
We gave you a brush. Of 100 views.
So what you're saying, Eric, what you're saying is we are colored and brothers this week.
We are.
And so we can do the Wayne Brothers intro. We're brothers, we're happy and something, and we're colored.
Wes also said, Marcus, this explains Eric's porn so clearly.
I don't understand why this. Wow. We gotta go. News to say.
Oh man, I can't see an intro at all because we're via Skype and satellite and whatever.
It's a gradient of blue going into pink.
It's the New Day colors, baby. It's the New Day.
Oh.
But with that being said, I would like to say that this episode is brought to you by our own shop, StoreFrontier.com, DSPN. If you look at the graphic right now, that's our own listener, Michael, a.k.a. B-Flat, rocking a Sharpshooters t-shirt that he ordered and supported the show with. We really appreciate that. You can go and visit StoreFrontier.com/DSPN and be a part and help support us as we create new content for you week in and week out. With that being said, today marks an end of an epic week, and no better way to end the week than with Friday Night Smackdown. And I'm going to tell you guys this right now. The big dog is acting a goddamn fool. And we're not going to even jump into what happened on SmackDown because he started out early in the week. But before we go there, I would like to give out our condolences to Joe Laurinaitis, a.k.a. Road Warrior Animal, who passed away this week. I mean, if anybody who was into wrestling knows who the Road Warriors were and probably were fans. Marcus, would you mind giving a couple of words about Mr. Animal?
Well, the Road Warriors were one of my favorite tag teams growing up, even though I believe me and Eric were both pro demolition guys. But, in hindsight, I believe I'm more of a Road Warriors, has more influence on some of the things I do, considering their promos and just the badassery of the spiked shoulders and the influence they had on the world. Like a lot of the Raider culture or a lot of the fans who dress up in, the Raiders are basically dressed up as the Road Warriors. And, their finishing move was one of the most imitated moves, I think, done if you were in a family in which you jump and we literally, I think, tried to kill Ryan.
I think we killed Ryan on that one time.
Putting them on each other's shoulders and doing it. And also, I believe our wrestling buddy numerous times have taken the clothesline off the couch and flipped over. And so, one of the great tag teams of all time, just 2 big badasses, probably the only tag team WWE has ever cared about in its history, to be honest.
Now, Manny, Marcus said a couple things, and I want you to touch on what the Road Warriors meant to you. But before then, I need to ask you this question. Marcus gave you a scenario that we did the Doomsday device multiple times. Can you figure out who was Hawk and who was Animal in the tag team?
I'd presume Marcus was Hawk.
Well, damn it, Manny, you got it right on the first thing. Marcus was the high flyer doing a clothesline off the top rope, and I was the base and the foundation to put the person up on the shoulders. Well, that was an easy question. The Road Warriors to you, Manny. How did they think?
when you look back at tag teams, they're probably of the 80s and 90s, they're probably the best tag team in that generation. And for me, like, I didn't have much experience with them because I got into it quite late. When I was like, it was towards the end of their run. I got the new LOD with Sonny, and I was like, ugh. So when you go back and watch
2000.
old footage, when you go back and watch old footage, it's like, wow, these guys were impressive. And then when you listen to the crowd reaction, it's like, yeah, these guys were the shit back then.
Yeah, the craziest thing for me is that I didn't really know them as the Road Warriors because the Road Warriors were more of a WCW thing. So when they came into WWE as the Legion of Doom, that was like my first introduction to them. And walking around with Spike shoulder pads might have been the greatest thing ever. Like, they created a culture, and they were the demolition of outside WWE, and they did the demolition demographic so much better. I mean, they both will be missed. I mean, now they're joined, they can tag, and who would have thought that Paul Ellering would be the one that would still be the last one standing in this situation?
I did all along, but no,
he seemed the more sensible now.
And gentlemen,
when you hear documentaries of how they lived, it was just like these boys were wild, and the fact that they had face paint. The face paint was always the coolest part to me. It was the spikes in the face paint, and then Hawk was always my favorite because he had the line at the end of "Oh, what a rush!"
Marcus, Marcus, if you want to talk about Petty right now, Marcus, you don't have the luxury of having the lumber chat, but as you know, you saw the promo video for the challenging of the DSPN Championship, and the chat is started off again. El Luchador with the first shot at the uncrowned champion.
No. I think Wes was the first. So, Pop, the real champion in the shop. Boo, Lucha, the fake champ is here. I just talked to the mayor of Baltimore, and he says he's dropped Wes quicker than they dropped Ray Rice.
Yeah. and now he's
to the mayor.
And now he's pointed out that Wes is selling bootleg Sharpshooters merchandise. Where I have to talk to our lawyers. I'm going to call the same firm. You know what? I'm going to call Tucker Knight because, Tucker Knight knows how to review contracts and see what the stipulations. And he's going to send you a cease and desist order, Mr. Wes and B. Moore, just to let you know. With that being said, someone who is not taking any liberties and not mincing any words when he speaks, that is the big dog. The big dog, Roman Reigns, Marcus. He appeared on...
Why me?
After the Bell podcast, and he was asked the question. Let me get the exact question he was asked, because he was asked, has he been impressed with anyone on the roster since his return to WWE SmackDown? And his response might have been one of the coldest responses I've seen, and I will put that response up on the screen for the people watching the live stream. He says, and I quote, "Nah, man. Otherwise, I wouldn't have to be back. I mean, if it was all just perfect, there wouldn't be a need for me. You know what I mean?" Now, Marcus, as a man...
I thought it was going to be more than you know what I mean.
No, because my favorite quote is when he compares Monday Night Raw to fast food and him to a dining meal, which is the greatest one. Marcus, is he right that they needed him?
I'm going to tell you this right now. And this is what I came to the conclusion of watching on SmackDown. And this might be considered a hot take, but it shouldn't be. Roman Reigns is the only real superstar in all of wrestling. He is the only one that I feel like right now looks above the crop in this current state right now. Like, and I know he may not, people may not consider him the greatest of all time in the ring or whatever. But when you look at him, that is a grown-ass man who is trying to put food on his table, as he said. And he's the head of that table. And when he said all of that, and I believed it, I felt it, he looked the part. He had his fancy shining teeth. He looked like the biggest badass in all of wrestling. And that's what he's coming across as, lately. And he looks like he can actually propel himself to superstardom a la his cousin The Rock.
And Manny, do you agree with Marcus?
To piggyback on what Marcus said, but you don't have to be the best in the ring to be a superstar in wrestling. Look at The Rock. He wasn't the best in the ring. Like, look at his ring work. That was shit.
It was okay.
But his storytelling was above his wrestling. And that's the main point that got him way past all the wrestling fans and into the casual audience, which pushed him to Hollywood.
I mean, I think I'm going to agree with El Luchador, what he says in the chat room, and I think this is one thing that's very important when it comes to pro wrestling and being entertainers. He says Roman is finally playing a part he can pull off, and I think that is the main catalyst behind him actually being comfortable in the role. I kind of feel like Roman is a nice guy, but he's one of those guys that you don't test him. You don't question his motives. You don't do it, because once you question what he's gonna do this to you. And as Marcus alluded to, I'll play it right now.
I don't just feed my kids.
I think there's a real crowd, man.
I don't just feed your kids with this title. I feed a whole family with this title. My family needs me to have this title, and you want to take it from me? You're going to take your payday. You're going to take the ass whooping that comes with it.
Ooh.
But you will never take this title. And you will never take my place at the head of the table.
Ooh, no, you won't.
Now, Marcus, we've
Yes.
grown up. We've grown up with each other, and I don't know if we've ever battled over the head of the table. But Marcus, I could easily see me doing that to you, or you could do that to me, talking about who put the food on the plate. I don't know who's gonna be laid out. We know Ryan will be down there, but Roman, he right. You can't make no money with Jay. Someone needs to take care of the family.
And Eric, a WWE YouTube video surfaced of Jay asking his family, his own kids, who's going to win, and his youngest went, Uncle.
Yeah, I mean, everybody know where the money's at.
Yeah, and he ain't messing disrupting the family's money right now. With your Jey Uso, you a nice guy, but you ain't the guy. And it was put simply by Roman, who, I can imagine plenty of people have been in that scenario of which they told you, man, don't fuck with me and my money. Like, I can imagine LeBron James telling that to one of his guys and he may get mad when I call him his posse, but his entourage and crew. But I can imagine a bunch of people saying, don't mess with my money and don't mess with my family because I'm going to kill you. And to me, he was looking at Jey Uso when he said this, but I feel like he was talking to everybody, even the roster, to the fans, to the AEW champion, or anybody else out there. He is the one true head of the table. And right then and there, he elevated that Universal title. And what I'm going to call the best promo of the week, after Randy Orton cut up Amalan's promo that I didn't see coming being that good.
Yeah, but the thing about this whole promo, it was personal. And you have to agree that Jay played a great role, trying to say he's just trying to get the respect from his older cousin, and clearly he's not getting. Manny, have you ever been in that position of Jay trying to climb to the top in the hierarchy of your family, and you get put down by somebody like the big dog?
No, I believe I am the big dog in my family.
that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
You put people down.
you gotta put people back in their place, and Eric has disappeared.
And the best part about his after he hit him was collect your paycheck and you're beaten.
Yes. Well, once again, making that a reference to the pay window, which I find like when the pay window is referenced organically, it makes me so much more happier. But then this whole segment was even more intricate because early in the night, we got red light Bliss, as I like to call it, because when the red light comes on, Alexa Bliss goes crazy. And for the simple reason, this is the first time I can say, and this might be a moment that someone might notate, I actually liked Alexa Bliss. And
well, your history and disrespecting Alexa Bliss for her entire career. Whether you're saying her in-ring ability is overrated, whether you're saying her looks overrated, whether you're that podcaster that says she just likes to lay there and take it,
hey, I ain't never said that.
I'm trying to get the rub from that guy. That guy got the rub. I don't know why she was listening to that guy, but With that being said, I really enjoyed that look of pure hatred because I believe she was possessed at that moment. And she recognized what I recognized. The big dog's the man right now.
Well, the look was that, oh, wait, I'm going to play a role into this title match. I don't know what's going to happen, but, like, you know, she's working as a disciple of Bray. And they're doing a disciple storyline better than Buddy Murphy in the Monday Night Messiah. I just love the look how she stared at him when she walked up the rep, was like, you a man, but you ain't the Fiend. That's what I got from it. Manny, what did you take from that?
I was in the chat, but I did really enjoy the turn that she did and the knee. I thought it was way better than any Kenny Omega knee in the last 2 months.
Wow.
Wow. Like the flipping of the switch when she lost her mind and started beating up Lacey Evans, who deserved that ass whooping, by the way, and I don't know why.
Deserved it.
Talking too much shit. And the fact, you know, that they like you said that she was looking at him like, oh, you ain't no real man. I was thinking it as she was possessed by the Fiend, Eric. I thought she was possessed by the devil himself.
Yeah.
And the Fiend had taken over that body. And when she was walking up the rep, that was not Alexa Bliss walking. That was the Fiend looking at his title.
Yeah, but like this, it was like little seeds that were placed, and then that we don't know what's gonna happen. That made me more intrigued with this main event. I mean, first you have the family aspect of it, then you have the Fiend. You know, he still loves that title. Everything when it came to Roman, Jay, Alexa, and I'll even give Lacey Evans the rub in this situation, made me appreciate SmackDown for what it really was, because outside of those people, SmackDown was nothing else. It was like, it's a show that happened, but like the show started off with such an
Hold on. You didn't like Bailey's one lady show.
That was fine.
That was Broadway, damn it. That was
Let
Broadway.
me tell you this. As I described in our pre-production meeting what SmackDown was, this shit was hella dramatic this week. It was drama. It was like they should have been on TNT because they knew drama. They had it all. But like this was theater from the Jimmy and the Uso and Roman part of Roman telling them how it is and what that look was about and all that, and to the fact that it gets to the end and when Jay has to break it down, was like, all they know is me as twin. Oh, that's what they know. Which one are you?
That hurt me.
Like
that hurt me, man. That hurt me.
That hit
me.
Went, oh, they do. Because I don't know who you are. I don't know if you Naomi's husband or if you the other one.
You know what? Speedy recovery out to Naomi, who had she had a fibroid remove. I can't say the procedure that she had, but you know, get well soon.
And then they also had the bloodline vignette.
Yes.
With Alpha and Sika and Rikichi and the brothers and family members of the bloodline, and you just like it was just building up to this drama, and then on top of that, you get the theater acting of Alexa Bliss on a side quest that we don't know. It's just a tease that the Fiend is coming back for that title when you got heel Roman. But my main objection is I don't want that to happen. I don't want the Fiend and Roman right now or anytime soon.
No, I get what you're saying, but
they need to stay away from each other.
Manny brought up Bayley and her soliloquy, and I thought her speech was great. However, I just couldn't take her serious wearing the solar system sheer shirt that she had over her cami. It just bothered me. I mean, as a bad guy, you can't promote the planets. I don't know. It didn't work for me.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Bad guys can't like science?
No.
Well, according to Eric on the Untitled Mania Marcus show, you can't be black and be Australian at the same time. So
you know what? Don't use my own words against me. Gentlemen, we need to stop living in the past and we need to focus on the future.
Geography.
So, like, one thing that SmackDown did for me that I didn't quite understand is that we got the triple threat match between Sammy, AJ, and the current champion, Jeff Hardy. And the only thing that was different about this match was that the letters weren't involved. And I was like, why would we give this match away for free? I know you didn't have anything else to book, but I just didn't feel this match was necessary. Manny, did this match get you hyped for the ladder match at Clash of Champions?
You already know you're going to be hyped for this ladder match anyway. You didn't need a triple threat Like, Jeff's got to do some crazy shit, even though no one's there. And when I find it really awkward. I find it really awkward, like, anytime he does a promo and he says he feels the crowd and he starts screaming Hardy to himself. And I'm like, Jeff's hearing voices again. We should probably get him checked out.
That's also true.
They did tease Willow back in the day with him and Sheamus in that barroom brawl. I would have liked if they would have, teased a little bit more of Willow, but we just kind of got Jeff Hardy, Mr. I'm going to jump off a ladder and kill myself.
I mean, and that's pretty much what it was in this match. I don't think it accomplished anything except for at the end of the match, you have AJ standing on top of the ladder holding both titles. He would not be my pick to win this match.
No,
I'm going with Sammy, and I don't know why. That's the pick that I would be going with, would be Sammy. And I know that this is one of the matches that the championship match of the Sharpshooters Championship, they differ on. Is that right, Lord Manny?
Yeah, so you're siding with Wes, who has also picked Sami Zayn.
Well, fuck, now I know I'm losing.
And El Luchador has taken Jeff Hardy.
Marcus, what right side of history are you going to be on?
Well, I think, to align things right, I would like for Sammy to keep the title. And I think that Wes getting the title because of a delusional champion because he was stripped. If a delusional champion wins him the title, I feel like it's poetry in motion. Even though he's rooting for Sami Zayn.
I'm just saying, Wes in the Lumber Chat is playing very dangerous right now. Like, I'm quite trigger happy to take away points before they even start. Or better yet,
man, you can't do that, man. You just can't.
Better yet, claim someone tested positive for whatever and pull him out on Sunday.
Wow. I think the last thing I would like to speak on SmackDown, unless there's something else that you guys want to talk about, I would want to talk about the shocking moment when my boy Baron Corbin got a win over Matt Riddle. I didn't see this coming. I don't know if it means anything. He was interviewed afterwards talking about, sometimes you take losses, but you got to get right back up. Marcus, you seem perplexed. What happened here?
I don't know. I don't know because sorry,
it's choking you up.
Yeah, it took me up a bit. I do not know what happened. Even though I'm going to say I enjoyed this match. It's one of the very few Baron Corbin matches that I actually enjoyed. But the fact that he won had me baffled. And then the interview with Matt Riddle was like, they're not burying me, guys. This was just a simple loss. Everybody know I'm still on the roster. Vince McMahon still likes me. It's just that we need to give Baron this victory for I don't know what the reason is.
Like, I haven't had a post-match loss interview in a long time, Manny. Were you shocked that Baron Corbin got this victory also?
Yeah, it just didn't seem like he needed a win. Like, it really... it must have been like he turned up to the pay window one time and the lady was like, you ain't been here for a long time, baby.
But at the same time, it was something that happened unexpectedly that made everybody go, whoa, what happened here? And it helps promote the unpredictability of Friday Night Smackdown, because like you said, anytime you see Baron Corbin in the match, he's either going to get disqualified, he's going to lose by some type of fluke. He don't go to the pay window. He just doesn't make it to the pay window.
It was like he needed rent money or something. That's why he needed this
He
shit.
was motivated.
Like, damn, I had to sell my damn cape this week because I ain't been to the pay window in almost a year. Like, I don't think Baron Corbin's won in a year.
No, it's been a while.
He beat Shorty G at one point or something. But I can imagine the pay window lady going like, Baron Corbin, I ain't seen you in a minute, son. Look at you with your crowd and stuff.
And if
Just
you
give
follow
me my money, lady.
And if you follow Baron Corbin like I do on Instagram, you'll find out that he really enjoys expensive meats and steaks and stuff. So he needed to get to that pay window to keep his habit alive. And I said that was the last thing we were going to talk about SmackDown, but no, I know it's something special to Marcus Hart. Marcus, Tucker Knight read that contract, and he saw that John Morrison's name was not on that contract. Marcus, are you disappointed that Otis didn't hire more representation to fight Mrs.
I really think Otis needs a lawyer, and I think he needs a better friend to help him. I think I shouldn't be doing this. Why is Tucker Knight reading this contract? One, I've seen contracts and like lawyers' things and depositions. It's not easily translated to Tucker Knight going, I think John Morris's name isn't here. Why would he be mentioned in the lawsuit anyway? This shouldn't be an issue. But David Otunga should have showed up with his coffee mug and said something to the extent that would stop Otis and Mandy Rose, by the way, from losing to whatever legal team the Miz has.
So I wanna work out what Tucker's rate was, because Miz was quoting his lawyer was $4,000 an hour. How much is Otis paying Tucky?
Man, a Jumbo Jack and a Big Mac. That's what that was, man. It was just like, yeah, it wasn't much.
It's not even a steak.
No,
you're not gonna even give him a $2 steak.
And
norms
and maybe I'll give you this picture of Mandy. You know, something like that.
I buy you some waffles from Waffle House. Let's go.
I was laughing at this because I was like, yes, we really need to get this title or this Money in the Bank away from Otis. He won it as a fluke. He should lose it as a fluke. But since I brought up fast food, as I said, Roman Reigns did mention something about fast food this week. This was his quote that he said. He says, we got a bunch of fast food fans, and they complain that they want stories and well thought out stories to develop. When you start doing that for them, they want it all now. My people, I'm cooking a steak. We're going to let the steak stay on the grill. If you want your cheeseburger, watch Raw. SmackDown, we do filet mignon. Marcus, this comment and this statement means so much more because he's right. If you watch Raw this week, Raw was a cheeseburger, and not a cheeseburger from a good spot that you wanted to eat at. It's from a place that, damn, I'm in a town that I don't know. There's a Wendy's right there. I know this chain. Let me get a Wendy's. It's not going to be great, but I know it's going to get the job done.
Let me try the T-bar with a side of slapjacks.
Yes. and you guys have a cup of mace.
Always in the menu with that look Let me the side of slapjacks and let me try that mace. Let me try that mace drink.
Let me try that mace.
Yeah.
Let me sip the mace. Like that's what Raw see that. It's like you order from the underground menu.
I mean, like, this is not even the value menu because you're not really sure what value you're getting from these guys. But as we're talking about, Retribution started the show off this Monday night, and they announced their names. We have T-Bar, who was formerly Dijakovic. We have Slapjack, who is Shane Thorne. And then you have Mace, who was the guy who was the announcer that got punked out by Brock Lesnar. D.O. Madden. There we go. Marcus, Retribution.
Yes.
What words can be said?
So, I see a lot of people shitting on my boys, Retribution.
Oh, your boys!
Your boys!
I'm on the record gonna call them my boys and girls, okay? Because I believe these are, 5 talented people in the stable.
No,
yes,
4. 4 and Dio Madden. I refuse to say Dio Madden is talented.
He's a big black man. I gotta support him. Okay, I gotta support him. So, this very diverse group of Retribution, and they'll signing contracts. I'm against the contract signing, but I believe the talent of these guys will propel them. I think this could lead somewhere. I think the in-ring work will have people at the end of the day go, you know what? This Retribution is all right. I mean, it may not last that long. But you cannot argue me that the name T-Bar is better than Dijakovic because it's memorable. The name Slapjack is better than Shane Thorne. And, I forgot my plate. I'm going to come in with a plate. I got no time for that. But, and you can't tell me the name Mace, okay, it's not the best name. But Dio Madden wasn't putting no butts in the seats.
Yeah, but Mace can't stop and he won't stop because he's bad boy for life. Manny, T-Bar gave a response. I shall read this response right now. He says, WWE offered us contracts because it was financially cheaper than all of the security guards we keep injuring. We signed the contracts to pay for our hired guns to do our dirty work. Our goal is to still destroy our current employer, WWE. #Retribution. Manny, I put this response up on the screen. Does T-Bar justify the contract signing with that response right there?
No, because he was already employed beforehand. So unless he got fired in the last couple of weeks that we didn't know about, when what was his name? Karrion Kross killed him in front of Keith Lee, who still again did nothing.
You need to stop fucking with me. That's all he's trying to say.
I need an explanation of what happened between his NXT contract to them deciding, oh, you know what, you need to sign a new WWE contract because you keep wrecking shit.
I mean,
how about this? How about they reboot it? You know, we've had wrestlers have new gimmicks before. Maybe this isn't, Dijakovic. Dijakovic was Isaac Yankup. This is now Cade.
I mean,
Marcus, this would be like me throwing a TV at you and claiming I'm the television champion.
Yeah, but this I agree. I agree with Manny in this situation. These individuals needed no retribution. They were some of the most sought out people on the NXT roster. Now, if you wanted to give this a little bit more credibility, all you had to do was play the marks a little bit and release them on WWE.com. We wish the best to Donovan Dijakovic and his future endeavors. We wish the best to Dio Madden. We wish the best to Mia Yim. If you would have did that, like maybe a couple of months ago, then the Retribution story makes a lot more sense because A, they don't have a contract. B, everyone thinks they're gone, so you would have had all the speculation of them jumping to AEW because everyone jumps to AEW, and it would have made the Retribution thing feel more authentic. Compared to now, it's like we have people who had contracts already that's wrecking shit.
Nobody jumps to AEW. They flip to AEW.
Hey, flip.
A bunch of spot monkeys. But my whole thing, I couldn't wait to release a deal, Matt, and then someone in the comments, oh, WWE did him wrong. He should go to AEW. That's the most annoying comment in the world. And when people talk about, oh, you should jump to AEW, it's not like that's the new Golden Palace where everything is right. I mean, just ask Shawn Spears and Scorpio Sky, who are never on Dynamite.
You know
They're
what?
basically on main event every week.
Jeremy,
with that being said, can I argue one point about Retribution? Maybe this is a team not getting retribution for themselves, my brothers. Maybe it's retribution for the little man, huh? Maybe it's retribution for those 200 guys they have in their group. And that by them getting contracts, they're going to let that money trickle down to the little guy.
Marcus,
I think there will be problems with retribution.
First and foremost, Marcus, I'm going to cut you off there because trickle-down economics have never worked, Marcus. And we know that from this current regimen. Trickle-down economics have never worked. Marcus.
That's what I was going to get. That's going to be the problem with retribution is that these 5 have contracts and then the other 25 members or more are going to be like, hey, man. You said you're going to give us a little kickback. And T-Bar going to be like, this is your kickback. It's $12.
So Jeremy Bishop in the chat room says he got a new contract when he changed names. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe Dijakovic is still employed, but T-Bar isn't. Maybe they didn't know who he was when he signed that contract. I'm not 100% sure where they're going with Retribution, but Marcus, I'm glad that you're the only person I know that's going to be on that limb waiting for Retribution to turn it around. And Marcus, I will give you this. If they do turn it around, you can say you were there day one. Just kind of like you say when you're a Clipper fan. You've been there since day one, no matter what. With that being said.
To all the racism and everything else that goes with it. But I just think that, yes, it wasn't the best reveal of who they were and how we got here. But we wanted answers, we got answers, and it seemed like WWE had wrote themselves in a corner with this faction. And just like Alexander Hamilton, they're going to write themselves out.
Well, the thing about it is that they really didn't need to have Retribution when they created the Hurt Squad. The
Hurt Business.
The Hurt Business. Sorry, I don't know the Hurt Squad. I don't know what the Hurt Squad is.
That's a different group. I'm talking about the Hurt Squad. They have no money.
Manny, you
business.
You alluded to earlier in the show that you were really impressed, you and Marcus both, with Randy Orton's promo this week in front of the ambulance. What did you like so much about that promo that he cut on Drew McIntyre?
Who are you going to?
I said Manny.
Me?
Yes, that's you.
Oh.
Get
I
out the
just like
chat.
that he embraced the hate a lot like you, Eric, where he was referring to how when he was lying in the ambulance a few weeks ago, while instead of holding his jaw and contemplating the pain he was in, he contemplated what he was capable of and what it takes to be a world champion. Now, someone that does that clearly has went to hell and back already.
I mean, like Randy he's lived in hell. He relishes in hell. It's kind of like what's going on in the Lumber Chat where the delusional champ is trying to recruit a Survivor Series team for some. I don't even know what's going over there. It's ridiculous in there.
I do have a plan for our Survivor Series challenge.
I didn't know we had a Survivor Series.
Lunch break. I left my phone one day at the hotel instead of taking it to work, and I had nothing to do but my thoughts and ideas.
Oh no! So you're kind of like Randy Orton in that ambulance, Marcus, just with thoughts and ideas.
So as I was sitting outside the freezing cold, I came up with an idea for the Survivor Series. I'll talk about it later in the show, but Randy Orton's hate was that of a psychopath who done stripped everything away from somebody, all their mobile abilities and speaking abilities, and realized once he lost his that I was a bad motherfucker when I took people's lives out. Like, I was doing this to people. I was doing this. And to me, I just thought, that's some ruthless ass, hateful shit. And it was amazing. And I didn't think I'm not excited for the match. But Randy Orton is, to me, currently, my wrestler of the year, and in this COVID era, and because of promos like this.
The one thing that disappointed me is that on the night, Randy did punt Keith Lee. We never got any medical updates on Keith Lee for the rest of the night. I know that
he did.
Did we?
He died. You didn't get that update?
That was just your update, Marcus. That was just your update.
Died.
So something else that happened on Monday Night Raw is like the same old song is being played again. At Clash of Champions, we're going to have the Street Profits going against Andrade and Garza, who were able to accomplish a victory without the assistance of Zelina Vega. Marcus, I turn to you because you gave a frown at that situation. Are you ready for the same song and dance?
I was not frowning at that, but it was some white trash that walked around.
No, Marcus, we're bigger than that. We're better than that.
No, these people were trash. They were walking around. I was like, she nasty. That's nasty. Like, he was wearing his camouflage, like he going hunting shirt. He kind of looks like a tall Cameron Grimes. And then his girl was in these fat booty shorts. And
oh no, Marcus, stop.
Marcus, she looked like she's 70. It looks like it's probably the meth that undid her in, and the kid that was with her.
Marcus,
I
need
that kid don't have a chance in the world.
Marcus, I need your analysis on the Street Profits versus Andrade.
Hold on, this is going somewhere. I just figured out, just like that kid don't have a chance to go anywhere in the world, Andrade and Garza teaming together only to break up again with the Street Profits has no place in the world on Clash of Champions. This should be the pre-show match, and Zelina Vega and Asuka should be on the main show. This is outrageous. Give Zelina a chance.
Manny, you share the same outrage because you put the hat on. Is that containing your hot level? Like you're gonna make it pop or?
No, but
I
don't think Asuka and Zelina Vega should be on the main show. To be honest, I don't know what Zelina is capable of, and I'd rather keep that on the kickoff show.
Don't Britt Baker her. Don't Britt Baker and Big Swole her. Give her opportunity. We've seen Andrade and the Street Profits a gazillion times already. We know how that story is. I don't believe Andrade and Garza are taking it from the Profits. I don't see it happening.
It makes no sense for them to ruin the streak.
If for some reason AJ Styles wins a triple threat ladder match, this match will decide who is the winner of the DSPN Championship. With Wes picking the Street with Wes picking Garza and Andrade, and El Luchador taking the Street Profits.
What's wrong with you, baby? Why would you pick Garza and Andrade? What have they showed to make them ever think they were going to win?
I like that both people betrayed their race here. They're showing that race don't matter. That the black man chose to go against with the Hispanic Latino team, and the Latino dude going with the black team. So all well is good race relations, baby.
So Manny, I'm gonna ask you first because I know just like Marcus supports Retribution, he also supports Raw Underground. What did you feel about Braun Strowman showing up and knocking out Dabba-Cabo or Cabo?
Dabba-Kato, not
Dabba-Kato.
You made him sound like a fruit, not like a real fruit, not homophobic.
Let me ask a question. Do you want me? Would you prefer for me to get Dabba-Kato name right or Pete's Dune name right? I don't know.
Call Babatube.
I don't know if I got it right. Is it Dune or Done?
Done.
God damn it!
I don't understand how you get that name wrong every time. That's like me calling you Eric Smythe.
I've been called that
Egg
before.
Spite.
I've been called Egg Spite. Yes.
The hater, Egg Spite.
So, did this help Braun Strowman at all, showing up whooping Daba Kumbe or Kumpataba?
You're making him sound way more African than he actually is.
Yeah, you put so much emphasis on there. You made him sound like a dish.
Just answer the question.
Like at that broke down restaurant where you go to.
I get that you don't like. I get that you don't like the Underground, but this week was probably the best bit of the Underground we've ever received. You had 3 good matches, which all had endings. And
that's true.
Braun Strowman beating up Dabba-Kato was nothing more than like getting Dabba-Kato a little bit of a rub, even though we know Braun Strowman's dominant. But you got to make Dabba-Kato look like he's a star, and that's what we got. We got Dabba-Kato on TV when in reality he would have been sitting in the performance center doing nothing.
Marcus, do you like getting Dabba-Kato on TV also?
Well, that's what I think the benefit of the Underground has been. These guys like Riddick Moss, Titus O'Neil, Dabba-Kato, and I'm missing the guy, and Ruiz on TV. They would not be on TV without this. And it gives them like these 2-minute features, which are these glorified squash matches. But you know what? I'm all for it. It was entertaining. Braun Strowman looked like a grown-ass man fighting, although I don't feel like Dabba-Kato should have lost this fight. I don't feel like Braun Strowman should have lost. If they were not to have a non-finish throughout the show, this should have been it.
So, the last thing that should have been in on Raw I would like to talk about is Buddy Murphy taking the shot. He's trying to holler at Aaliyah as there's dysfunction in that family because Ray tried to make a decision for his grown-ass daughter. Marcus, do you like Buddy Murphy trying to get an emotional girl on his side?
Getting the emotional girl, Eric, as Rey Mysterio said, she don't understand what's going on. Which had his whole family walk out on him. I don't know what Ray thought he was saying right there. He was putting down women. She's a woman. She don't understand what men be talking about, he was saying. Had his whole family walk out on his ass. But I enjoy this storyline. And if Roman's criticizing Raw for just being fast food, this Rey Mysterio story has been burnt up. Like, they have been in the oven. They've been smoking this shit for years. It's like a 2-day smoke of a brisket. That's how long this shit been going on. Because this has been going on forever, and it has escalated to now it's a love triangle between Buddy Murphy and the Mysterio family.
And this was all
invested.
And this was all led upon by Seth Rollins having some connections and getting some results showing that Ray might not be the father of somebody in the Mysterio clan. Manny, do we really need to revisit this role that I think we visited down 20 years ago of Ray and Angie not having the most tight relationship?
No, because it makes his wife look bad in this
situation.
and I'm not sure how much he's getting paid, but to go on national television for people to think you're a hoe is not a good thing.
Well, no, I think this is different. I don't think we're going down the road of Aaliyah not being Ray's daughter.
That's what he's saying.
Seth was lying. It's clear. And I think he had no intent. His whole intention was to ruin the Mysterio family with his lies, which he did at the end, saying, "Oh no, I didn't think this would come up." They're not playing the card down. Leah is not Ray's father. Just Seth just threw a wrench into this family's armor. That there's more there. And I believe, and this is my hot take, Aaliyah will be a bigger star, at Mysterio than than Dominic Mysterio when she joins with Seth and Buddy Murphy as the new third member of the Messiah and the Disciple.
But I think the thing about this whole thing that I took away is that we have all this smoke and mirrors and we have all this storyline going on. However, what we really missed out is that Humberto Carrillo and Dominic Mysterio were a very good tag team, and I wish they would focus on them being a tag team in the lackluster tag team division that WWE does have. But now we have to deal with this. Next thing you know, Carrillo is going to be related to Ray somehow. Like, he's his long-lost son. I just think that they need to find something else.
He's already related to Garza. Didn't that make some Garza related to Mysterio?
I'm just saying, I think we need to find something else for the Monday Night Messiah to be invested in. I just think that we have ran this Rey Mysterio story to the mud, and it should end now.
Could Seth Rollins be the guy returning to NXT?
No, I think after reading reports and hearing things, I think October 4th, the return of Samoa Joe is gonna happen. I think that's the champion that's gonna come back and whoop ass.
You got Joe.
I got Joe.
We should literally put money on this.
This should have been a pick.
It could be anybody.
This could have been a pick 'em
challenge.
challenge.
Bo, it could be Joe. It could be some hoe. I don't know. I just want the rhyme stuff.
Wow. Well, since Marcus, I was gonna go to AEW.
Come on, you gotta give me those bars, right? Bars.
No, I was gonna go to AEW, but since you brought up NXT, Marcus, we might as well go to NXT. NXT took place this week, and I think NXT in ring was one of the most fundamentally sound shows of the week. And that 5-man gauntlet match was fire, with the surprise victor of Kyle O'Reilly defeating Cameron Grimes to my chagrin. But I liked everybody in that match. Marcus, are you on this train of Kyle O'Reilly?
I've been on this Kyle O'Reilly train from the word jump, man. Back when he was 27 years old in Ring of Honor, and he was with Red Dragon, and they kind of went solo when Bobby got hurt again, and Kyle got to go into the, do Japan and the G1 and the Junior Cruiserweight. Kyle O'Reilly is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and the more I've seen him on NXT, the more personality I've got out of him, and I think him and Finn will going to have a hell of a match at TakeOver, and that I am looking forward to. But Kyle shouldn't win. Kyle needs to be dropped. He needs to be taken out. But it will be a hell of a coming out party for Kyle, and I can't wait.
I mean, I think for me, what I really enjoyed about this match that it was very unpredictable. Like, everyone had a reason to win. I thought they could have went with the easy choice of Cameron Grimes because, he was one of the more...
How is that the easy choice?
Because he is the Baron Corbin of NXT. Put some respect on his name, damn it. Put some respect on his name.
Guys ain't put my ass in no seat.
I'm not caring about you. Manny, was there anybody else outside of Kyle O'Reilly that you wanted to see win, or was Kyle O'Reilly the right choice for you?
Kyle O'Reilly's the right choice, but I wouldn't have minded. I told Marcus that I wouldn't have minded Cameron Grimes going to win here because he's got a win over. He's already got a win over Finn, so it only makes sense to go for the title. But
that's why I listen to that man right there. That's why I listen to that man right there.
But it's fluky. It was a fluky win, and I think Finn got his heat back the next week.
A win is a win when it comes into NXT.
But when you lose the next week after the Damian Priest was on his, I'm going to hit people in their ankle with my baton phase. I'm so glad he's over that phase, by the way.
Well, you know why? You know why he got over that phase, Marcus? And
he could easily bring it back.
Mark, no why he got
he couldn't.
Marcus, he got over that phase.
I tell Priest, it's so much better than I'm going to hit you in your ankle with this baton. Priest.
You know why, Mark? He got over that phase? Because he realized how petty his actions were when Cameron Grimes started fucking with him. When Cameron Grimes started slashing his tires and stuff like that, he was like, I need to be bigger than this. Because Cameron Grimes was fucking with Damian Priest. But Damian Priest, since you bring him up, man, talking about a week of all weeks, Damian Priest has his match after he gets his victory. Johnny Gargano comes out there and super kicks him, which is a very good super kick. So next thing you know, you have Candice LeRae, who became the #1 contender to face the champion Io at NXT TakeOver after winning the Battle Royal. She comes out to confront Io, and I knew this wasn't gonna last long because once Johnny showed up, here comes out of the blue Mr. Damian Priest, who gives him the one-hitter glitter, like, there you are, and he punches him, and then Johnny's complaining about a cheap shot. One of my favorite segments of the week. Manny, how about yourself? Did you enjoy Damian Priest knocking the hell out of Johnny Gargano?
I did, but like anytime Johnny Gargano's been on screen recently in his new little run, it's always been gold. Like, like even last week when he was complaining about the TV and like making Tegan pay for it, I'm just like, yes, I'm all for this. 100%. Gargano is gold.
No, he has such a hateable face, and so does Candice in this situation. And like Candice took out Tegan Knox for no good apparent reason, but at the same time she broke Johnny's TV. She had to make amends for her husband. Marcus, what do you have to add to this?
I'm hoping that Priest gets to keep a lengthy run, and that Johnny don't get this North American title, and Candice ends up becoming women's champion and defeats Io, and their prophecy or whatever comes to fruition. I really hope that doesn't happen. But I enjoyed the hell out of these segments, though.
Well, so I've said on numerous occasions, never get beaten up by a guy wearing moccasins, which happened a lot. Which happened on AEW last week when John Moxley got put through a box by Ricky Starks wearing moccasins.
Yep.
But I don't think it's right to be beaten up by a woman wearing fairy wings at the same time.
and that has a bow tie in the middle of the lace, which I didn't realize there was a bow tie there. And I was like, this is the most ridiculous outfit ever, but I'm okay with it.
We're talking about Damian Priest at one point, attacking people's ankles. Is it a part of Tegan Knox's gimmick to be attacked in the back? Because I feel like that's every single week. That someone is re-injuring Tegan Knox's knee or attacking her unsuspectingly in the back, whether it's she in their house or something like that. Like, Tegan Knox gets attacked in the back more than anybody in the history of wrestling.
Marcus, you know how we always talk about who's the worst big man in the game? Marcus, I'm under the impression that Tegan Knox got the worst knees in the game. I just don't think her knees can hold up to anything anymore.
Hold on. We live in a wrestling universe where Tamina's knees exist. Are you forgetting about those?
Don't forget about that.
But Manny,
knees are just strutted.
But there's a difference between Tamina knees and Tegan Knox's knees. No one expects anything from Tamina except for Marcus. Compared to Tegan Knox, you expect something good from Tegan Knox, but her knees keep giving out.
Even Rey Mysterio's knees aren't. Rey Mysterio's knees don't even belong to him at the moment.
Yeah, but he's having eye problems. I'm just letting you know of the new generation.
Ciampa wear like 2 knee braces. His gimmick is to come out with a crutch.
I'm just letting you know, Tegan Knox might have to work. We can have a debate. Manny,
what about FTR and their knees?
Get the tier list ready for the worst knees in the game. We're just gonna have rickety knees. Who got rickety knees? But we're talking about Damian Priest, and I would like to see Damian Priest have a lengthy run. However, I would like that run to be concluded when he faces the debut in Ridge Holland, who showed up and who was quite impressive as a specimen in the NXT roster. I haven't seen a debut like this since Karrion Kross, who we've all since forgot. I mean, but
you're giving him a re-debut after his debut.
Yes, I am giving him
on national TV when he had the qualification triple threat match,
and then when he almost killed Johnny Gargano the following week.
Yeah, you can't give him a third try at his debut.
We had to wash everything clear.
So if Lars Sullivan
Jeremy, that is not an angle that they need to do. No, Jeremy, that's a no. That's a no.
What?
I'm not reading that.
D-match?
No, it was the angle that he wants to have happen. No, Jeremy. I don't know why people need me to mention that P word. I refuse to mention that P word because I'm not about that life.
What
Production?
are you talking about? Production?
Yes, I don't respect anything that starts with P's. I mean, outside
wet ass pussy.
Wow. Marcus used WAP. Anyway, outside of that,
I feel like it was an opening right there.
Outside of that, there was 20 mysterious women in the Battle Royal that we hadn't seen. And I think earlier in the week that the people who listen to the audio show are not going to be privy to, we all agreed this was one of the better Battle Royals that has happened in NXT for the female side. Manny, what did you like about this Battle Royal?
They used every bit of ringside. Like, I've never seen someone fight over the stairs. Like, and when it came to the final 2, I've never seen in the Battle Royal the fight has now left the ring and is now going on just the steel steps.
It was like fighting on. It was the floor is lava or fighting on a boat in which you guys are both fighting to try to get your survival. Who gets to die? Or the end of Revenge of the Sith when Anakin didn't have the high ground and Obi-Wan chopped him in half. I mean, it wasn't that dramatic, but it was really dramatic. They used all the ring, and it was a really good battle royal. Everybody had good spots in the showcase, but oh, by the way, Dakota Kai might have the worst knees in the game. You seen those knees? Jesus.
You know what? But she probably got them knees being next to Tegan Knox. You know, them knees are allergic. So, they was spreading to each other.
Team King had the worst knees. I don't know how they call some Team King with those knees.
Eric, the word you were looking for was contagious, not allergic.
You know what, Manny? You're correct. I'm trying to do too much multitasking, and I cannot think of the word, but I think allergic knees sound amazing.
Allergic knees.
See, this goes right next to your doublet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. We can't make love tonight. Why? I'm allergic to your knees.
We can't bump knees tonight, baby. We can't bump knees tonight.
I got knee allergies.
Hey, baby, you gave me a rash. From what? Your knees. I think I'm allergic.
I'm gonna have to take a leg because of your knees.
Do you have any Benadryl? Because you need me in my stomach, and I have this rash right here from your knee that was allergic. I just don't know. Hey, what's that on your face? Well, my wife need me to face it. I broke out because I'm allergic to her knees.
Oh man!
The real question you need to be asking is why's your wife kneeing you in the face?
So
for you to have an allergic reaction.
I will point out Jeremy Bischoff with the line. I'm going to use that as an excuse for a call out one day. Hey man, my knees are allergic. I don't think I'll be able to make it into work today.
I would love for a wrestling match to happen and submission by allergic to knee. Shinsuke's going for that knee. He's going for that knee, and he knocks his opponent out. He actually has an allergic reaction. We need an ambulance to right away.
Eric,
with that being said,
is that why Cameron Grimes lost that match because of the knee bar?
Because actually no one's allergic to his knees. They're allergic to his hairy ass self. Because I mean, he grew some more hair out, man. He make me itch. He like allergic knees. Moving on.
Before we go, I want to attack Candizzaro for abusing the Kofi spots in a basic TV battle royal. You saved this for a Royal Rumble. You don't do this in a battle royal.
Marcus, she's just made Naomi irrelevant. Completely irrelevant.
Naomi matters, okay?
Mark, she did.
No, she's irrelevant now.
We was hoping she has a speedy recovery, but Marcus, let me just point out. KC, that's all she got. What else she got?
Say her last name. Say her last name.
Catanzaro.
Yeah, it's better than you say done. Better than he says done.
You know what? I'm not allergic to KC Catanzaro, but I am allergic to Pete Dunne. But
you said it correctly.
Wow. I know, because I know now, but because I've been corrected. But something else that I'm allergic to is AEW.
Been corrected numerous times. You still say it wrong.
I am allergic to AEW, but one thing, I had some medication on Tuesday night because they had something called Late Night Dynamite, and I was introduced to the great Ben Carter. But unfortunately, he was at the top of my list. But now he might not be seen on television for at least a minimal 2 weeks because he came down with COVID-19. I'm assuming he was hanging out with Lance Hoyt, who ruined the main event.
He goes by Archer now, damn it.
Marcus, I know you didn't see the Late Night Dynamite, but I know Manny did. Manny, and I know you share the same sentiments. Can you tell the listeners why Ben Carter could be the savior of AEW?
I don't think he's necessarily going to be the savior of AEW. But
they're not even dying.
But you're putting way too much credit on Ben Carter. I appreciate the novelty of Ben Carter being from the UK, and then you giving some love to the UK from Ben Carter. But we're forgetting Scorpio Sky was in this match. Scorpio Sky is a very talented wrestler.
Yeah, but you have to understand, people who saw Scorpio Sky wrestle, they saw him wrestle Cody, and he didn't do a damn thing. So to them, Scorpio Sky ain't shit. This match right here made Scorpio Sky look like a star, but next week he's fighting again in a tag team gauntlet match I just don't think is going to excel him to any other level. Speaking of people not excelling...
Wait, is this tag team on Dynamite?
Yes.
The gauntlet match? Well, I'm just happy he's making Dynamite. You know, it's a damn shame what they've done with Scorpio Sky since in the 1 year they've had in this company on TV, in which JR was selling the hell out of Scorpio Sky. People are behind Scorpio Sky for him never to be featured on Dynamite.
I know.
Marcus, anyone JR is 100% behind, they don't actually do well in AEW. Like, pay attention to everyone JR is really high on. They don't seem to get booked very well in AEW.
Jake Hager, Scorpio Sky, and I don't know who else he's high on.
Because he thinks, I'm pretty sure he thinks Will Hobbs is a real deal, but I don't think they're going to book him very well.
No, you know, the interesting thing about JR's perspective, JR is probably a closer thing to what Vince is in AEW than what they were trying to have portrayed with Brody Lee, because he does like all the old school wrestlers that have a traditional in-ring thing. He's always championed people who did not pay their dues at the indies. And I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Matt Cardona, but who knows?
There was too many Matts on the show, so they had to...
He's going to go by Cardona now, and he's just waiting to save the next wrestler getting jumped by the Dark Order. So, that's kind of his gimmick.
So with that, this episode of Wednesday Night Dynamite, we got the in-ring debut of Miro. He doesn't have
a... Can we pause for a second before we go into Miro?
Okay.
You know, AEW was hit by the COVID bug this week, and
so was NXT.
And NXT, yeah. And you know, I feel like Taz's words came back to kind of bite him in the ass, because everybody's gonna get hit with this COVID thing. Every league and promotion. So, you know, Taz, you know, apparently you're part of a sloppy shop as well.
And then,
I find it more funny that it was when he said it was one of the people that he was like working with at the same time as well. Like, yeah. You were working with the Murder Hawk? Yeah, you're a fucking dickhead.
But the good thing about the one thing about wrestling fans, no one will remember that. And I think the even crazier thing about, I believe I read this, in Florida, they're moving on to phase 3 of the COVID plan, which is like when everything is open back up again. So I just don't know what's gonna happen.
Wait, Florida is even out phase 1. How they jumped 2 phases?
Manny, I don't know, Manny. Manny, I don't know. I know we still in phase 1.
It don't make sense what they're doing in Florida. It's like, how bad is it getting? Let's make this shit work.
Yeah, it's like
turn that shit up. Like, that was like the dude that's like ODing on drugs, and he gets up for one more snort of one more bump of cocaine, going like, I can hit it one more time. Man, you about to die.
No, that's like that's like El Luchador says that Damian Priest got those cocaine powers like Superfly. You know, like, we just gonna turn this up.
Did Luchador really bring up Superfly and cocaine powers?
Huh? Marcus, in one of the old shows, you and Ryan had this discussion. Remember, you guys talk about Superfly almost once every 2 years. I don't know why.
Cocaine was spinach, man. Cocaine was spinach in that movie.
So, Marcus, what did you think of Miro's debut?
I thought it was a very interesting debut. It was a tale of 2 stories. Of Miro looks very impressive. Oh my God, I think Miro's hurt. Oh my God, they're botching all around him. He probably shouldn't be in the tag match. I enjoy the tights. I think he can still work. I think they can salvage all this. That's what it was for me. It was hit and miss a lot. It was 50-50. I feel like it could be done better. But, you know, it's all pending on his opponents. And, Eric, I'm starting to agree with you. He shouldn't be tagging with Kip Sabian.
That's all I wanted to hear. Manny, what about yourself? Did you think that did you have the 50-50 feeling Marcus had about Miro's debut?
I like the fact that he had a debut, but I feel like it should have been a singles. Like, you just need... This didn't show AEW fan like how impressive Miro can be. Like, this is very much like a he's here kind of feel to it.
I mean, for me, what happened is this, that he was inside of a match with people who don't have enough reps in the company, and that match came across extremely sloppy. First, from the point where Kip Sabian was killed, and no one really checked on him, and people, you can hear this.
Okay?
Are you okay?
He actually died.
Are you okay?
But he was at the Jaguars
my
game.
Ex-girlfriend? Are you okay?
He was at the Jaguars game. He was. I guess he made it to the point where later on, Miro went on Twitter and he trashed Joey Janela and said, "But Sonny Kiss has something special." I just felt that the match didn't click. It would have been so much better if Miro just squashed Joey Janela. I think that would have been a better match. And I think because he does not need to be a tag team wrestler. He needs to be the monster that Brian Cage is supposed to be, but we all know that he's not.
But here's my question. Do you think the best man, Miro, needs a mouthpiece? Like, I like that Kip Sabian talks with him and stuff. I don't know if, and you know, this is a shot at Rusev, even though I like the guy. I never felt he was the best dude on the mic. He's not the best man on the mic. Like, at his peak, Lana was the best mouthpiece he's ever had. And when she was doing the Russian stuff. And I don't know if he could sustain being a mouthpiece on his own.
Well, I don't know because we never seen him do it. It's a possibility that he can. But the problem was that the best mouthpiece that he could have had was Taz because he should have been a FTW champion. But they gave that to Brian Cage. And I'm going to cry over that. I mean, just like we say we can replace Denzel G. Jornet with Dawkins, we can do the same with Brian Cage. Just put Rusev right where Brian Cage was at and let Taz manage him. I just don't know about that. Manny, do you think that Rusev has the chops to carry himself on the microphone?
I don't think so, but in somewhere like in AEW, I feel like he could take that chance. Like he could take that chance. Like there's only 1 million people at best watching it, so like if he fails, no one's really gonna know. But if I'm being 100% honest, I would like him to be under Tully.
Oh, yep. I feel like Tully's the best manager they got in that company.
He is.
Like his promos are fire each time he talks. I mean,
and the people he's with can talk for himself. The people that he's with can actually talk for themselves as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I like about Tully? And this is what I like about Tully. Is that he gives his roster or his stable credibility. He gives them that credible piece, and he's coaching, but he lets his star still shine. Like they're still the main focal point. Like with Taz is the focal point when it comes to Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. And then when it comes to Arn Anderson, you just ask, why are you there? Like, you don't need to be there. Tully looks like he's providing some type of insight. But I'm going back to the lumber chat right here because Jeremy Bishop came up with a great thing. Man, he says that you should book a tag team match with Wes and Lucha teaming up because that's what they do in wrestling to face possibly me and Marcus, which I think would be great because you know you can't have the two people who's challenging for the titles be on the same team. Then, of course,
should that be TakeOver? I feel like that should be TakeOver.
Oh, me and Marcus come together on picks?
I feel like our team is going to be Survivor Series, guys, where we get to team up and go against the Lumber Chat.
Ooh.
And I thought Survivor Series, we make El Luchador defend against everyone.
But, so Manny, so you're saying that El Luchador is going to beat West again?
Well, we're playing very dangerously. We're playing very dangerously.
Wow, that's some bias right there, boy. That is some bias right there. So
you don't know. Nia could be having a 5-star match this weekend for all.
Anytime now.
I thought it was Tamina that had to have the 5-star match.
They live to riot and they riot to live.
So
all it takes is 2 of us to declare it's a 5-star match out of the 3 of this booking committee.
I have too much integrity to give Nia Jackson a 5-star match for no reason.
With that being said, the AEW also gave us the main event, or it might have not been the main event. I'm not sure where it was placed on the card, but it was Jon Moxley versus the uncrowned king, Eddie Kingston, because, like we said, Lance Archer had COVID testing positivity. Manny, the main event, Kingston versus Moxley, cut from the same cloth. What did you like about it?
I didn't like anything about this. This match was just a mess from start to finish. Like, I get that this match wasn't meant to be happening, but, like, there was hardly any build to it, so, like, there's no, like, emotional investment into it. So, and then it's just, like, they didn't mesh very well. And, like, we talk about rules, and then Marcus has made me kind of think about not thinking about rules anymore when we talk about AEW on a Thursday.
I'm done.
But
I quit.
But like it's like these guys didn't have much chemistry, and then it just felt like a regular AEW where everyone just decided to run out, and then it was just in chaos again.
Marcus, what about you? Do you share the same sentiments, or did you see some type of other hope inside of this match?
I loved everything about this match except for the match. Like, I know that don't make sense, but I'm getting the whole segment, in this review, in which when Eddie Kingston first walked out, he started cutting this promo about how Mox was sold out to become a sports entertainer. For 18 years, he remained an outlaw, and he was screaming at the top of his lungs, he gets his shot tonight. I enjoyed all that shit, and then Mox came out there and was like, "You don't know shit about me." And then they start having the early pull apart, and I feel like they build up to that match, but it was like every Eddie Kingston match or something that involved Eddie Kingston, if there's a limit to what he can talk about, like the limit is unlimited of what he can say, but what he can do in the ring is there's a cutoff, there's a drop off, and Moxley isn't the best wrestler to carry anybody to anything of any greatness. So it was, as expected for me. Just, it was okay. It survived itself.
I mean, for me, what I liked about the match, I did like the physicality in the match. I liked the hard hitting that Kingston and Moxley were doing. The justification of this match happening didn't make much sense to me. And then afterwards, having the Lucha Brothers come down and attack Moxley after he got the win, and then next thing you know, here come Will Hobbs and here comes Darby Allin. It's just like, to me, it felt like AEW said that we had this main event booked, but Lance Archer got hurt, but we need to make sure we get Will Hobbs and Darby Allin on the screen, so let's have this run-in. And I think it's a point where AEW needs to stop ending with all these run-ins and just have a conclusive ending to a match.
Well, it's pull-aparts.
Yes,
they have pull-aparts at the end of every show.
But speaking of real-life pull-aparts, Marcus, I'm going to turn to you because we had the women's tag team match with Thunder Rosa teaming up with Shida going against Ivelisse and Diamante. And there was beef amongst Thunder Rosa and I think it was Ivelisse from last week. And that match seemed like it carried over into the match, Marcus. What did you think of that match?
The only thing that went through my mind when watching these matches is these are probably the 4 best women's wrestlers they have on their roster, not counting Brandy, who I think is the best wrestler in all of AEW, and I'm not going to, because I enjoy her matches. And I'm just going to say that as dry as possible. I enjoyed this match, and Thunder Rosa's the real champ, and AEW needs to side her and boot the Shida off the title. Just take the title off Shida and make Thunder Rosa the champ. Thunder Rosa's the real deal. She's the real deal. So long, Shida.
Wow, man, you throwing Shida under the bus. I think Shida has gotten better. I think she's better than the first AEW champion whose name I cannot remember, and nor do I want to remember.
Rio.
I don't want to remember her name.
Riho.
I just think that the problem with having Thunder Rosa on the show with Shida, it does reduces the credibility that Shida has, because Thunder Rosa kind of walks around like a champion. She looks like she is the baddest bitch in the ring. Shida just kind of looks like,
you don't
okay,
have to call
guys.
women bitches all the time. You know that, right?
Marcus, when a bad bitch becomes a bad bitch, they let everybody know that they're a bad bitch. Just let you know. Manny, what about, do you think that Thunder Rosa really diminishes
unless they're, of course, subscribed to that basic bitch package, which is below the bad bitch package.
Yeah, the basic bitch package. You don't even get HBO with that. You don't even get HBO with that one. You're lucky if you get the Paramount channel or TNT. In fact, if you have the basic big pattern, you don't have TNT. And you don't have ESPN2 either. You got ESPN, and that's it.
What about you, Manny? So does this diminish Shida being next to her?
Yeah, a little bit, but like I can see where if they're leading to a winner takes all kind of deal, I can see that. But I'm not 100% sure where they go, what direction they go from that, because I don't think they can realistically put the NWA Women's title on Shida.
That is also true. And I just wonder, are we going to have any other working relationships with NWA? Because I'm not going to lie, I would be extremely interested seeing Mr. Who Carries the 10 Pounds of Gold, Magnus, appear on AEW.
20 pounds ago.
I thought it was 10 pounds.
It's 10 pounds ago. It's 10 pounds ago. And his name is Nick Aldis.
I know him as Magnus, man.
He hasn't been Magnus in over a decade.
When he
I
married,
know him as Mickey James' husband.
when he married Mickey James, he married her as Magnus, man. That's what the marriage certificate says, Magnus. So since we're talking about marriage, let's talk about the Black Parade. Cody Rhodes.
When I was a young
boy,
my father took me into the city.
To see the marching
marching
band.
band.
He said, "Son, will you grow up?" Anyway, I don't want to, because I'll probably listen to
Oh,
that.
come on, we had it.
No,
He
because
said, "Son, when you grow up, but you grow up and wear polka dots, and teach your hair blonde, and call yourself the Nightmare."
Manny, he showed up, as Marcus called him on your show, Billy Joe Armstrong, from the lead singer of Green Day. What did you like Cody showing up?
I don't understand. If he was going to do it running, I don't understand the purpose of this whole entrance. Like, it just didn't need to happen.
It was so over the top. We got a full fireworks show. We got the Black Parade.
Like, if I was smart, like Brody Lee was, he got the hell out of there during the entrance.
I mean, to quote another My Chemical Romance, I guess this was 3 cheers for Sweet Revenge, because that was what Cody Rhodes was seeking in this situation. He was trying to get revenge for the wrongs of getting his ass beat by Brody Lee, but Brody Lee was like, "That's a different man right there. I'm not messing with that man right there." I like the return. It made me excited. It made me enjoy AEW, because, as we know, I always said I want the biggest Cody marks out there. You know, Cody can't do no wrong usually in my eye. Except for booking Brandy in singles matches, but besides that, that's Kenny Omega's fault.
Kenny, you blame Kenny for that.
But Eric, was he the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned?
I felt like he was, because when you look at the Dark Order, they're the broken, they're the beating, and they're the damned, and he can save them.
I feel like he was just another American idiot.
Eric, will you defeat them? Your demons and all your non-believers. The plans that they have made.
Yes, I will. And I will welcome to the Cody's Black Parade. Forget the American Nightmare. They should be known as the Black Parade. That's what this is.
That would be a dope name for a team that you may get sued for.
Marcus, I would be.
I risked it.
Mark, we can team up. We can become the Black Parade, man. I think that's
a
great name.
Managed by the commish.
Yes, and we represent the broken, the beating, and the damn.
And the damn.
Shit.
Does that make me a phantom to lead you in the summer?
Yes! The Black Parade!
You know what? I'm going to say, for the record, what wrestling podcast is going to give you that level of entertainment right there? That was brilliant, guys.
Marcus, I still don't
Not
think
planned at all either.
Marcus, it can't beat Allergic Knees, but damn it, the Black Parade was still really good. I like it. I look forward to seeing Cody try to pursue to get his title. I think one of the oldest stories in storytelling is the hero's quest, and that's what you need. The problem is that we don't know what type of hero Cody is, because Cody came out emo. I don't know if he's evil Cody, and Brody Lee's transition to be like a tweener. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but I do like it. They just need to take it to another level to take some pages from the Garganos, and Brandy needs to come out as emo Brandy Rhodes. And it just, you know, like, you could be Sting in the Raptors looking down like, we're going to get you, Brody. We're going to get our TNT championship.
But that's got to be Sting. But, you know, the one thing about, you know, Cody and Brody Lee, my favorite part about this segment was when Brody went to the back and told that bitch to get out of here, just like he did. Bitch, get out of here, give me the microphone. I don't know your name. This is a travesty. And then he decided to turn this into a dog collar match. Because that's where we're at. This escalated really fast into a dog collar match. This is my problem with Cody. Like, you can tell he grew up being a wrestling fan and all the types of matches. But it seems like sometimes the match type don't fit the storylines or the finish don't fit the storyline to get there. For them to go into a dog collar match just didn't seem like it made much sense.
No, it really
I
didn't.
loved the Brody Lee promo. The Brody Lee promo was just gold. What kind of man sends another man to do his work? Did you see what I did to Dustin? Did you see what Anna Jay did to Brandy? What kind of man, Cody? What kind of man lets his wife post Instagram thirst traps while calling me daddy?
One of the best ones. Honestly, as I gave Roman the line of the week and talk about how you get your paycheck and their ass whooping too, but your wife posted thirst traps and her calling me daddy might be the top line of the week. I mean, it was really good promo work on all shows this week, and I really enjoyed that line. It popped the hell out of me with going like that. And I felt like that was the Brody I need. No Vince McMahon comparison. I need a Raven lunatic saying crazy shit like that all the time.
I mean, like he was the true MVP in that situation. And Marcus, you're right. Maybe Vince should have gave Brody a little bit. Once they got rid of the whole Vince thing, Brody Lee being Brody Lee, just being crazy as she posts her thirst traps that he saw about why she still calling him daddy.
We can't see that. I can't see that.
Oh, you can't? But the listeners can.
No.
Thirst traps.
Eric's about to get us cancelled. That's what he's doing.
Hey, man. That's how you get the views. And then I can remarket it. The show that got pulled off the air because nobody liked it.
Because a little bit of the brandy.
So, I guess we need to talk about something that is the elephant in the room. Probably the thing that
you don't drink.
Nia Jax ain't here. Nia Jax ain't here.
No, I'm talking about the elephant in the room. Probably the thing that
Babar is here. We got Babar live.
No, that we can all agree on. There was a match that took place on AEW, and this was a match that no one cared about, that no one needed. It was Adam Page versus Evil Uno. But what happened through that match was a travesty that they decided to put Kenny Omega on the microphone to give commentating, and Kenny Omega by far might be Marcus. It don't matter. Whatever he was doing, it was awful, Marcus. It was awful.
Okay, who was worse this week, Liv Morgan and the Riot Squad, or Kenny Omega?
Kenny Omega, Marcus. Kenny Omega, because I don't expect anything from the Riot Squad. Kenny Omega is supposed to be the face of the company, and he's so lackadaisical, like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to pursue the singles titles now. Like, I just didn't care. I just don't care. Manny, Kenny Omega, what did you think of his commentary?
Like, if this was like just a regular squash match, this might have worked, but it wasn't. It was a back and forth match where Kenny was very complimentary of Adam Page, and it just didn't seem like a story was building anywhere. Like, you were waiting for some shit to happen, like maybe them to interact or something. No, nothing happened. All we kept getting was them saying from the last 2 weeks that the match was offered to them both as a tag match, but Kenny refused.
Yes.
Well, Mark,
absolute trash.
Manny, your current champion says that he thought Kenny was great. Are you going to take points away from the current champion since you were going to rob points from Wes?
Well, El Luchador, when it comes to AEW, thinks everything is fucking fire, and I just don't agree, but I let him live his own world.
Wow! I believe the commission. I thought there was some biasness here, but no, the commission's bipartisan. He is bipartisan. He despises both contenders and champions.
Marcus, you know, us being the CEO and the EV, we might have to really do some research because we might get lawsuits because this commission is kind of biased. We might have to replace it with somebody else. Oh no!
How can you be biased when you're taking out both sides?
He's taking out both guys. He's bipartisan.
Yeah, but he's just trying to cover up, man. He's trying to cover up his true hatred for Wes. Marcus, Kenny Omega, did he do anything or say anything positive on commentating for you?
No. Kenny Omega ain't did dick for me on the microphone since he joined AEW at all. I need him to find a character or direction instead of just blabbering. And I need somewhere in the story to go, which is more dramatic. And for the record, I am so sick of these back and forth. I want my finger in camera here. I am so sick of these back and forth matches. And I know people love them, and you want to say, oh, every match should have potential to be 5-star, whatever. Sometimes you just need a motherfucking squash match, and that's what Hangman Page needed. That's what Rusev needed, and several other talents on AEW just need. Just go run through people. In honor of the Legion of Doom, who just ran through people, that's what people in AEW should do. Just run through people. Shout out to Thunder Rosa for having Hawk makeup, by the way.
You know, but Marcus, you're right, because although Manny and I said that Ben, I can't remember his last name, I already forgot him.
Carter!
Ben Carter. Ben Carter and Scorpio Sky had a hellified match.
How could you forget his name? He was your great hope for AEW.
Manny,
He's the greatest AEW wrestler of all time.
I give up really quickly, man. The rise and fall, baby.
That's him, Ric Flair.
It's the rise and fall.
Him.
So I have one last moment of delusion of a grandeur. As Bully Ray sent out a tweet, that I'm going to put this tweet on the screen. And I want you guys' comments on this. It's in reference to Eddie Kingston. He says, I like Kingston a lot. Great at what he does. Still has a long way to go before he could hang with my level of physicality and verbal eviscerating skills on a live stick. Marcus, who you got? Bully Ray or Eddie Kingston?
Well, in Bully Ray's prime of being Bubba Ray as the Dudley Boys, he was a monster on the microphone. He was. I thought you were doing the stuttering as a joke. No, not that part. Not that part. I mean, I'm going back to ECW, and he would eviscerate the crowd and almost cause riots. And then as Bully Ray, he was really good as well at getting good heat. But promo-wise, I've always preferred Eddie Kingston over him over the years. Eddie Kingston is real to me. And like, that dude talks some mad shit. And I can imagine in the apartment complex, if you want to call it that, where me and Ryan live, I can imagine Eddie Kingston living there, getting to numerous fights with people and hearing the exact same shit he says in AEW. So I'm fighting for my kids. I ain't doing this for no shit. Shit, let me see my son. God damn. Like, I can imagine him saying that. So, Bully, I can imagine, being respectful to people.
You know what, Mark, is the sad part about that? You're right. Eddie Kingston is going to be the one that's going to be grimy and say all those things. Bully Ray is going to talk a lot of shit after he called the police. That's what I feel. Like, he going to talk the shit behind, as everyone is gone. Oh, that's great, guys. I enjoyed it.
Eddie Kingston would be the greatest, and I don't know, we probably brought this up over the years about the Hot Pity Inn, but it's basically a motel that we lived at, grew up in, and there was drugs and just debauchery all in there. Eddie Kingston would have lived at the Hot Pity Inn area.
He would have.
And it would have been amazing. Just watching him and Pocky. Rest in peace, Pocky, if he's alive or dead, I don't know.
With that being said, we did get an email a couple of weeks ago from Jeremy, and I'm going to read this email because that's what I do. He says, hello, everyone. Maybe I'm too old for this shit. Perhaps I'm too young for this shit. No idea, really, but wrestling is a confusing time. Here's what I do not understand. What's the point of the revolution? Why did they seemingly multiply like baby kids? I think he's talking about Retribution in this situation. Why are they feuding with the Hurt Business? Aren't both faction heels? And if so, why was the Hurt Business the only four on the rosters willing to confront this group who has caused nothing but havoc for what seems to be months now? Please give me an explanation, Vince. And it's wrestling isn't a good answer. Things still need to make sense, which brings me to
it's wrestling.
To Raw Underground. This has been going on for months, and we still have no purpose of its existence. Is there a money prize involved, like from the movie Bloodsport? Are they keeping records of the fastest knockout, submissions, etc.? Are there different disciplines involved? Will there be a title to compete for? Just seems like random things happening, and why can't these competitors fight in the ring and accomplish the same thing? Man, I agree with you, Jeremy, because you could do the same thing that they're doing at the underground inside the ring, but whatever. I've enjoyed the live shows that I've been able to catch on YouTube. Guess this pandemic was good for one thing. Is it time for WWE to just abandon tag team wrestling or should I just say Vince clearly hates the concept? In the span of a month, they've broken up Zelina's group, Sasha and Bailey, Cedric and Ricochet, released AOP. Sad, as some of my favorite matches and memories are from tag teams. In closing, to add some of the best themes with lyrics are in no particular order. The Honky Tonk Man, Demolition, Mark Henry. Without lyrics, Mr. Perfect, I still spit out my gum and try to swat it because of this man and his theme. Marcus still does that to this day.
That's the only time I litter. That's the only time I litter. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling when you do it.
Ultimate Warrior. Hell, I used to run around my house just like he'll run down the aisle when I heard his music hit. Goldberg, Heel Doink. They shouldn't have even turned that man face. Later, guys. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate your email. Go ahead, man.
Can I pause to tell you what I'm looking at right now?
More white trash.
Yeah, so man walks to his pickup truck right now. He opens his door. He looks like he pours out a cup of coffee. He smells it. Pours out a cup of coffee. Throw it into the bush. And then proceeds to have an open beer now, I'm assuming was in the coffee, and poured it into the cup. Sipped it. Poured it out. Realized it was too hot. Now he's just smoking the joint in his front seat looking into his mirror.
Probably looking at you, looking at him. Manny, you were going to say something.
Speaking of music, wrestling intros with music, I just remembered probably the best one. The Fabulous Freebirds.
Oh, yeah. Bad Street, USA. You better not come here. I don't actually know the lyrics, but it's amazing.
To address Jeremy's email, I think Don puts it best in the chat. He says, simply put, Black Lives Matters versus Antifa. I think WWE tried to create something that was, I guess, piggybacking off of what was going on in the real world, something that I've asked for them to do. And I just don't think that they have been as successful with it as they would have liked. But
you think that's what was going on with this?
Yeah, anarchist group that was trying to destroy stuff, kind of like what's going on in the real world.
No, I understood the Antifa part, but do you think they're trying to make the Hurt Business into Black Lives Matter?
Why not, man? I mean,
Black Lives Matter, bunch of black dudes in suits. Asking about their money, attacking other black people.
Jeremy, I don't know if I should ask Marcus this question, but I shall. He says, have you checked on Ryan since you've been away?
No.
I've heard from him, but he seems to be
I
doing okay.
I want to hear from him again when he better have the rent by the end of the week. That's what I'm saying. Oh.
Okay, so Marcus.
Yes.
You had Survivor Series planned. Let's hear them.
Oh, hold on. I was going to finish answering this email about the Hurt Business and Retribution. And I want to say I agree. If you listen to the every Tuesday and Thursday to the live Untitled Mania Market Show, that I refer to this as my number one problem with the Retribution storyline is the Hurt Business being involved, and that at the same time they're being the heroes in this feud. At the same time, they're punking out Ricochet and beating the shit out of Apollo as the heels, and I feel that inconsistency is really stupid. That they should really try to cut. They shouldn't have put the two factions going against each other, or they shouldn't have did this feud with Apollo. Unless this brings Apollo and Ricochet into the Hurt Business to help them fight Retribution, I see no reason for this. And by the way, another shout out to R-Truth and his Shark and 24/7 title defense against the Sawa, and probably my favorite cinematic match of the year, in which I think somebody died.
Since we're giving shout outs, I want to give two shout outs to two people who's out there that's trying to grind and trying to make it because nobody wanted them, and they said that to a certain extent. A shout out to Michael Bennett and also to Drama King Matt because formerly Aiden English, because apparently in order for the companies to want to try to sign him, they need to earn a spot. That's what Aiden English said, that apparently he had to earn his spot with a company. I'm not really sure if that was TNA or AEW that told him that, but go out there and continue that grind, man. Continue that grind.
Damn, Aiden English, huh? What did Matt Bennett say something?
Huh?
I thought, didn't Matt Bennett say something on Twitter? I better hear that, but I didn't actually read it.
Because he said that the term, I think, Mark should stop being used or something like that.
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
Mark. He's a Mark. We're all Marks. Let's go.
Well, with that being said, Mark has only had maybe an hour worth of sleep, but I think this is a good point to conclude the show, unless Manny has anything else to add.
Oh, no, Marcus was going to explain what he had planned for Survivor Series.
Well, you know, it's not really thought out. I didn't really. I was going to talk to it off show.
Yes.
If I'm saying so. So the plan, I give you the basic plan. It's almost as if it's we have a set of wrestlers, all mid carders, no main eventers, but people who seem to lose a lot. A la Eric Baron Corbin would qualify into this list.
So with Cameron
Even though
Grimes,
he picked up a win this week inexpensively. But we will pick. It will be a team of losers, and the team at the end who has the most victories with their set of losers will be declared the Survivor Series champion. And the stipulation would be to not only the winner of this will be able to get a title shot against whoever the champion may be, and they can have the stipulation of reversing a pick onto the champion. Let's say the champion picks, let's say they picked Roman Reigns to beat Jey Uso. You will have the option to reverse that pick and make them pick Jey Uso instead.
So you brought an Uno flip reverse it card onto it?
Yes. I wanted an attack card. And I was like, this is the attack card against the champion. So it would be something like that. And the selection, I don't have the names of the wrestlers yet or how we select in general, but something like that. And somehow it's related to Survivor Series, and there was going to be elimination involved, but I don't know how I got that far.
While you were talking, Marcus, I feel like you came up with a lot of rules. I was thinking about what I'm going to make myself to eat right now because I'm kind of hungry.
You son of a bitch.
That's the only
son of a bitch.
That's the only type of person I know to be, Marcus. I'm sorry. That's who I am, baby.
True. You're the worst half of the Black Parade. I'll tell you that.
Well, cause you know why, Marcus? I got them damn allergic knees, man. They keep breaking out.
You the All Lives Matter float in the Black Parade.
Hey, man, now that's fucking. That's going too far now, brother. That's going too far right now. And on that note, as you guys make fun of me, I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale.
And we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of our little show. Remember, you can help support us by visiting our website at storefrontier.com/DSPN and order your piece of merchandise to help support the nation and the universe and make us a little bit more bit of money. We really hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Hold up. Can I add something? If you act now, we will donate to the cure for allergic knees. Right now. If you act now, we will donate proceeds to the cure for allergic knees. And people don't understand that a lot of people are suffering from this. And this can happen to anybody. Do not fall under the allergies.
No, Marcus. Marcus, it's bad enough to take a knee to the face, but it's even worse when you break out from that knee. With that, everyone stay sharp. And if you do buy some merch, email us a picture. We'll feature you on the show showing you wearing the merch because we need to promote the merch as much as possible. But until next week, everyone stay sharp. They'll see you guys on Tuesday for the Untitled Manny and Marcus show where they will cover Clash of Champions and also Monday Night Raw. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
Deuces.